Hi students, hope you all are doing good. Fine. Now in today's class, we are going to continue with our lesson, the gift of Maggie. So, shall we continue with the lesson? Okay students, in the last class I told you, Maggie dressed up, when she saw the mirror, she saw her beautiful hair and it was like a cascade, it was like a waterfall. And later, she just tied her hairs up and she got ready with a skirt and a hat and she left hurriedly. Now we'll see where did Maggie go and what did she do with her hair, students. Now I'll read the paragraph for you. Listen to me carefully.
Where she stopped, the sign read, "Me, saffron, hair goods of all kinds." One flight up, Della ran and collected herself, panting. Madame, large, too white, chilly, hardly, looked the saffron. "Will you buy my hair?" asked Della. "I buy hair," said Madame. "Take your hat off and let's have a sight at the looks of it." Down rippled the brown cascade. $20, said Madame, lifting the mass with a practiced hand. "Give it to me quick," said Della. "How?" And the next 2 hours tripped by on rosy wings. Forget the hashed metaphor. She was ransacking the stores for Jim's present.
Hope you heard me reading, students. Okay, now I'll explain you those paragraphs. Where she stopped, the sign read, "Me, saffron, hair goods of all kinds." So, what did she do? When she was leaving her home, from her home she left and she saw a signboard. Okay, there was a signboard and over there on top of the signboard it is written, "Me, saffron." Okay, it was written, "Me, saffron, hair goods of all kind." So, it was a signboard, it was advertising the about hairs. Okay, it was advertising related to the hair. One flight up, Della ran. Okay, after seeing the signboard, Della took a flight up. Flight up means to reach. Okay, she ran to that store and collected herself, panting. So as she ran very quickly, she started to panting. Panting means out of breath. So now if you run very fast, okay, if there is a race or something, running race or something, if you run too quickly, how you will take your breath? It will be very fast, right? So even the same thing happened to Della. She just went a flight up, okay, to reach to that store. She ran to the store, so she was panting. She was out of breath. Madam, large, too white, chilly, hardly, looked the saffron. So, what here the description is given about the store. Okay, there is a description written. So, the girl who's selling, like who is advertising the hairs, regarding hairs, so she's called as Madam. With respect, they call Madam, right? So here is also it's given Madam, and here the description it is given. Large, too white, chilly, hardly, look the saffron. So here the description of the Madam is made. So she is saffron. Saffron means, in Greek word, it means wise. Okay, saffron, the meaning of saffron is wise. "Will you buy my hair?" asked Della. So here Della went to the Madam and she asked, "Will you buy my hair?" "I buy hair," said Madam. So she said, "Yes, of course, I will buy your hair. Take your hat off and let's have a sight at the looks of it." So now she's telling Della to take her hats off and she wanted to see how Della's hair look. Down rippled the brown cascade. So Della's hair was brown and it was like a cascade. As I told you, it was like a waterfall and it just rippled. Rippled means to form small waves. Okay, like in a wave. If you open your hairs when you're tied on top, so if you just let it open, it will just form a cascade and float, right? So in the same way, Della's hair also was like a cascade. It was wavy and it just rippled down. and it was described as a brown cascade, like a brown waterfall. $20, said Manu. So the hair of Della will cost $20. Lifting the mass with a practiced hand. So she lifted the mass hair. The volume of Della's hair was very too much, right? The mass is referred to the volume of hair of Della's. Okay, so she took Della's hair in her very practiced hand. So she has seen so many people coming to her store and selling their hairs. So with that practiced hand, she started to check the mass of or the volume of Della's hair. Give it to me quick, said Della. So Della was in a very hurry. So she said to her that, give it to me quick. Give me the $20 quick and take my hairs. Huh. And the next 2 hours tripped by on rosy wings. So the 2 hours, it just went like that. Forget the hashed metaphor. She was ransacking the stores for Jim's present. So now what happened? The 2 hours, okay, just tripped. So the 2 hours just tripped away like anything, okay. So she was in a store and she was searching present for Jim. Okay, she was ransacking. Ransacking means to search. She was searching the whole store for Jim's present. For 2 hours, she was searching the present for Jim. Okay, so she was ransacking the whole store. Ransacking means she was searching the whole store to get Jim's present for 2 hours, and the time went away like quickly. It just tripped away so quickly she didn't realize. Okay, while saying gifts for Jim, she didn't realize the time has run so fast. Now the next paragraph, I'll read it for you. Listen to me carefully, students.
She found it at last. It surely had been made for Jim and no one else. There was no other like it in any of the stores, and she had turned all of them inside out. It was a platinum fob chain, simple and chaste, in design properly proclaiming its value by substance alone, and not by meretricious ornamentation, as all good things should do. It was even worthy of the watch. As soon as she saw it, she knew that it must be Jim's. It was like him, quietness and value. The description applied to both. $21 they took from her for it, and she hurried home with the 87 cents. With that chain on his watch, Jim might be properly anxious about the time in any company. Grand as the watch was, he sometimes looked at it on the sly on account of the old leather strap that he used in place of a chain.
Hope you heard me reading the paragraph for you. Now I'll explain the paragraph. She found it at last. It surely had been made for Jim and no one else. Now after ransacking the whole store, she found a gift. Okay, she found a present for Jim and she thought that it is being made for Jim. That present looked like as if it is made for Jim and nobody else. There was no other like it in any of the stores. So she has searched so many stores and that present was very precious. Okay, it was like it is just being made for Jim. It looked like as if the present is just made for Jim, and it was like it was only in that store where she found such present. And she had turned all of them inside out. So while searching for the present, the whole store, she has made it inside out. Okay. It was platinum fork chain, simple and chaste in design, properly proclaiming its value by substance alone and not by meretricious ornamentation. So now the present which she found for Jim, okay, it was a platinum fork chain. Okay, the present which she saw was a platinum fork chain. So platinum fork chain means the chain for pocket watches. So you will have the watches, right, in the wristwatch. So the chain will be there. Okay, without a leather strap, there will be a chain in some watches. So that is called as a fork chain. Okay, which is made for the pocket watches. It was simple and chaste. Okay, that chain, the fork chain was very simple and it was chaste. Chaste means without much decoration. It didn't have any decorations in it. It was very simple and it was very attractive too. Properly proclaiming its value by substance alone and not by meretricious ornamentation. So it was superficially attractive. Okay, meretricious means the fork chain it was superficially attractive. It was very attractive, and ornamentation means decorative elements. Okay, there was no much decorative elements in it. It was very simple, but it was looking very attractive. It was very simple and chaste, and it was like meretricious ornamentation. It was an attractive ornamentation. Okay, it was a decorative element, as all good things should do. So it had all the qualities of a good things will have. The fork chain was having all the good qualities in it that a good ornamentation should have. It was even worthy of the watch. Okay, the chain which she was going to present to Jim, that was very precious than the watch. Okay, which Jim has. As soon as she saw it, she knew that it must be Jim's. So as soon as she saw that fork chain, she thought that yes, surely this is the gift that I should present to Jim. It was like him. Okay, the fork chain that she saw, even it was like him. It was very simple. Okay, quietness and value. So why she is comparing the fork chain to Jim is it is quietness and the value it had. The description applied to both. Okay, the fork chain description is applied to even Jim. Even Jim was very simple, but he was very attractive. $21 they took from her for it. So the fork chain, how much did it cost? It costed $21. Okay, it was $21. Okay. And she hurried home with the 87 cents. Okay, later she hurried home with the 87 cents which she had. So she had before how many cents or how many dollars she had? She had $1.87, right? So her hair was sold for $20. Okay, her hair was sold for $20, and the fork chain. Okay, the fork chain cost is $21. Okay, her fork chain her cost is $21. Her hair she sold for $20. Okay, before she had $1.87. Okay, so she added this $1 to her $20, and the remaining now she has only 87 cents with her. Okay, she returned home with that 87 cents. With that chain on his watch, Jim might be properly anxious about the time in any company. So she's thinking all this. When the Jim wears the fork chain, he would be very anxious. He would be very nervous while wearing this. Anxious means slightly nervous when he get the present. So she's thinking all this. Grand as the watch was, he sometimes looked at it on the sly on account of the older leather strap that he used in place of a chain. So long back, what did Jim do? He was wearing a old leather strap to the watch. Okay, the watch was very expensive and it was very decorative, but the leather strap was too old for it. So he was sly on it. Okay, he was secretly keeping the watch with him. But now if we get this fork chain with the watch, he'll be very happy to wear it and go around with the watch. So he doesn't be keeping it secretly. He can openly wear the watch and go around. So she's thinking all this, and she hurried to her home with 87 cents. Now let's see what happens. So I'll read you the paragraph. Listen to me carefully, students.
When Della reached home, her intoxication gave way a little to prudence and reason. She got out her curling irons and lighted the gas and went to work, repairing the ravages made by generosity added to love, which is always a tremendous task, dear friends, a mammoth task. Within 40 minutes, her head was covered with tiny, close-lying curls that made her look wonderfully like a truant schoolboy. She looked at her reflection in the mirror long, carefully and critically. If Jim doesn't kill me, she said to herself, before he takes a second look at me, he'll say I look like a Coney Allen chorus girl. But what could I do? Huh? What would I do with $1.87?
Okay, students, do you hear me reading the paragraphs for you? Now I'll explain the paragraphs. When Jana reached home, her intoxication gave way a little prudence and reason. So, when she reached home, she had an intoxication. Intoxication means to lose control. When she reached home, she started to lose control and gave a little way, and that intoxication gave way to prudence. Okay, and that intoxication, it gave way to the prudence. Prudence means cautiousness. Okay, she thought that she has to not lose her control. Okay, and then she started out with, she got out her curling irons and lighted the gas and went to work repairing the ravages made by generosity added to love. So later what she did, she took her curling irons, okay, the curlers, to curl her hairs. She took the curler iron, that is the heated rod used for curling the hairs, and she lighted the gas up. Okay, she went and she lighted the gas up and she went to repair the ravages. Okay, ravages means the extreme damage. Okay, she went to repair the damages by generosity added to love. Generosity means be kind. Okay, her kindness added to love. So with all that, she started to repair the ravages. Okay, the damages she started to repair within herself. Okay, the damage what happened to herself, she lost her hair and all that, so she started curling her hair and she on the gas and she started to repair the ravages with generosity, and which was added to love, and that generosity was added with love, which is always a tremendous task. So to repair the damages, it is a tremendous job. Okay, to repair something, it is a tremendous job, right? If you have broken something, to again make it proper way, in a proper way, if you want to make the damages again to a proper thing, that time it will take a very tremendous job. Okay, it will take a huge task to do that, right? So she's telling that it took a very great amount of time, okay, to clear the damages. And dear friends, it is a mammoth task, and she's telling that it is a huge task. Mammoth means it is a very huge task. Within 40 minutes, her head was covered with tiny close-lying curls. Okay, so 40 minutes she took to curl her hairs, and within 40 minutes there were curls. Okay, with tiny close-lying curls that made her look wonderfully like a truant schoolboy. So with that curled hair, she looked like a truant schoolboy. Truant schoolboy means a irregular schoolboy who comes very irregular to the school. Okay, how a schoolboy would look when he is a truant schoolboy, when he is very irregular to school. How does the boy look? So she's comparing herself to a truant schoolboy with those curled hair. She looked at her reflection in the mirror long. So she went to the mirror. She stood in front of the mirror and she was looking at her reflection for very long time. Okay, she was looking at her reflection for very long time, carefully and critically. Okay, she watched her reflection in mirror because of the, before she had a long hair, now she had a very short hair. So she was observing everything about her very carefully and critically. Critically means with a point of disapproval. Keeping a point of disapproval also, she was looking at her reflection in the mirror. If Jim doesn't kill me, so the thought was, if Jim doesn't kill me, she said to herself. Okay, because she cut short her hair, so she's thinking that Jim should not kill me because of this decision of mine. Before he takes a second look at me, he'll say, I look like a Coney Island chorus girl. So in a Coney Island, that is an amusement park, okay, and over there the chorus girls, okay, the chorus girls are the artists, they used to have a short hair, okay, in that island. So she's telling that Jim would tell her when he looks at her, he would tell her that for sure that she looked like a Coney Island chorus girl. But what would I do? Oh, what would I do with $1.87? Because she had no other choice, okay, than cutting her hair and selling the hair, then only she would get the money, okay. But with keeping those $1.87, she can't do anything. So that's the reason she went and she sold her hair. So she's thinking that what would I do with the $1.87? I cannot buy any gifts for Jim. So that's the reason I cut my hair. So all these thoughts she's saying for herself by seeing the reflection. After this, what happened? We'll see in the next class, students. Now I'm going to end my session. Hope you all enjoyed this story, and next we'll see what happened to Della, and when Jim came and saw Della, how did he react? Okay, students? So have a great day. Take care. Bye.